How come my face is scratched and yours isn't?
Hello and welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast, the podcast where three men drink beers and gripe about horror movies.
Out into the sun.
No, I promised you I wasn't going to buy a Ouija board. I didn't buy a Ouija board.
You mean exactly what I meant.
I borrowed a Ouija board.
Smoking by themselves.
Just so everyone's aware, there will be spoilers and plenty of nasty, nasty language.
She'll do anything. She'll do anything to make you feel like an asshole.
What the hell are you doing, Mika?
Come on, help me.
What are you doing?
I'm going to talk to it.
Look at me.
I told you I was...
You promised me you weren't going to... You look at me like that. You promised me you weren't going to mess with us.
Whoa! Fuck yeah, ghost! Burn the house down! Hello, welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast. I'm John.
I'm Ben.
Cobra.
And today we are recording... Why do I keep saying we are recording?
Because we are.
We are recording, I guess.
We're
We
reviewing
are
also.
reviewing Paranormal Activity from 2007. We are about to start a 5-movie trek because we are not trekked. There's no such thing as a trekked.
No, there isn't.
There are, by the time October's over, there will be 7 of these. We're not going to watch all of them.
No.
We're not watching Tokyo Nights, and we're not watching the marked ones because by the time we get to 4, you'll find out we're pretty pissed off.
Oh, I forgot to mention this, though, last night. After I watched Paranormal Activity 2, I was upstairs getting ready to watch the Pirate Game, and the DVD, it has a drawer that open, it just shot open and DVD spilled out when I was just laying there by myself. I was like, no.
It's a ghost like, watch more!
No.
I had a similar experience with after watching part 2 for the first time, but I'll tell that later.
I've got a story that I told you guys before that I'm going to actually leave in this time about my experience with this movie and how very realistic to me it is.
It's not, though.
Well, demons no, but
Ghosts.
But this person acting like this is very similar to something that happened to me.
Huh.
But we'll get there. I told you this story already, but I cut it out because I didn't tell it very well. I'm going to try and tell it better this time.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, we'd all like to thank the cops for letting us see
Yes.
video evidence of someone's death.
Yes. Thank you.
What the fuck? Paramount is like, thanks for the families of the dead people for letting us have the videotapes.
Don't put
Now you ruined the movie already.
text for me that is so ridiculous. That was terrible. And in the second one.
When they do it again, I'm like, are you serious? Come on. Okay, so right away the movie starts off ominous enough. They're talking about weird shit happening, phenomena happening. Katie comes home to find Mika with a giant-ass camera, and they're immediately talking about trying to get the stuff that's happening. And apparently it must not be that bad right now, because they're kind of joking about it.
No, I think she says at one point it's just like a water faucet turning on.
Lights flickering.
Lights. Yeah, lights
But
flickering.
here's my thing. Wouldn't she be... The way she acts... Are we talking... I guess we're not talking about this as a series yet.
Well, no, that's why I had already said about, like you said, the way she's acting, she's not worried about it.
No, and she's been followed
But-
since she was 8.
Yeah, but at times...
I'd be worried.
During this series, they remember a lot about their childhood. Obviously, her sister
It's almost
shows
like
up
they're
in part
writing the
2.
movies on the go.
They probably were.
Yeah.
And then at times, they don't remember anything from their childhood, so...
It's a little uneven.
A little bit.
Does it take away the fact?
It was a $15,000 movie. You know.
You could have fooled me. It looked about 2,000. It was
Well,
terrible.
15's nothing.
I actually think they did a good
This
job.
movie's nothing.
I like this
$15,000. It's a pretty good movie.
For what we have to deal with in the future coming up, this is a really good movie.
Yeah.
What
It's
happens?
Still not good.
I think they build tension. I think it escalates properly, unlike the other movies. It doesn't just like bounce back and forth from pots banging to stuff catching on fire to
What
pots
make
banging.
again?
Yeah.
What makes this a horror movie?
We know that you like to have a visual, but the sound, like, terrifying sometimes.
That
with
could
the
be
door
thriller.
slamming.
Something's trying to kill you or get you or talk
But
to
it's-
you. You can't see what it is, but it's.
But it has a shadow?
The shadow, I'm not.
It has a shadow?
I
don't-
would
here's
prefer
the
that
thing.
the shadow wasn't there.
And it has
I-
footsteps.
I don't.
I like
know.
the footsteps.
This movie's based on popular demon tripe. I'm
Yeah.
gonna call it tripe.
The
But
cloven hooves.
the things that they do in this movie with the demon are popular thoughts on what demons are and what they do. So if I can't fault them for what they're doing because according to people who think demons are real, shadows, you can see shadows, you can hear footsteps, they knock, they turn
growl.
things on, they growl. That kind of stuff happens.
And they haunt you. Like, you can't get away from it.
Yeah, they will not leave you alone until they get what they want, which in this case, I'm confused as to what that is.
It's...
But we don't know that it's confusing until part 2 when we're like, wait a minute, why? Okay, but I'll save it for part 2.
Yeah, let's get... Oh.
Okay, so Mika's in the kitchen waving a knife around, and I'm like, well, wait for 4 movies and you'll find out that knife kills you, Mika.
And they're drinking yellowtail wine,
Mm-hmm.
which is not very classy.
No,
not at all.
Especially not for a day trader who apparently
Yeah,
makes
who
tons of
apparently-
Does
money.
he ever work? No.
Well, he
It's
probably
stated that
Do
he's
you
a
see
day
him doing
trader.
anything? What does Katie do?
She's
she's
a
going
college
to
student.
school.
Does
This
she
stuff's
ever
all
go to
brought up.
school, though?
She
That's
does.
where she was coming back.
She does some reports and stuff for school. Just like
You see
my
her-
wife goes to school, but she never actually physically goes to the school.
We see Katie highlighting
So it's
in
a
a
fake
book
school.
at one point and says she's
She
studying.
goes every now and then to drop stuff off, and that's it. It's online classes. That's what I assume Katie's doing. She never leaves the house.
Ever.
She does bead stuff
Well,
with her
You're
friends.
getting attacked and
The-
haunted in this house. Maybe get out and get some fresh air.
But the camera wouldn't follow. The camera wouldn't be able to follow them.
The guy could pick it up and take it with him.
There are gaps in days, so I assume that they just do normal stuff with
Yeah.
the gaps in the days.
So that's.
I don't want to
They
have
have
to assume.
him.
Show me.
I don't
have-
want to watch them go do shit. I don't
Why?
want to watch them go play mini golf, okay?
But we can watch them laying in bed night after night.
Everything they show in the movie, because you have to, the way this movie's constructed is that it's tapes that were made by Mika. So what supposedly the cops gave the people these tapes, and the editors sat down with all these tapes and pieced together
Yeah.
something for people to watch, a movie. They aren't going to put
This isn't
everything they have on tape into this movie.
This
Because then
happens
the
in
sto-
every found footage film.
Yeah.
And that's what makes them bad.
Yeah, there aren't
This
very
is
many
one notch
good
above
ones.
Blair Witch because it
didn't
wasn't
say-
as shaky.
We didn't say it was the greatest horror film of all time.
But you like it, don't you?
I have it in
It's
my top 10.
entertaining.
What is different than Blair Witch to this besides one is inside a house and one is in the woods?
The escalation.
The
of
story
things
in Blair
happening.
Witch is actually better than what's going on here.
Yeah, I like the story of Blair Witch.
But you hate Blair Witch, but you like
because, like you have said in the past, follow the creek out if you're lost. This,
Where are you gonna go?
I'm assuming
this. Follow
she,
the creek out.
I think I said that before. They needed to follow the creek out of the house.
But
There's
okay,
water running out the door. Follow it.
I know that like in this it gives you the she's haunted. They can't go anywhere. They can't leave. They can't. Now, I mean, most people would say, I think when the demonologist was going to come, and it's like he can't come till next week, and it's like, well, can't you go get a hotel room for a few
They
nights?
mentioned they're gonna go get a hotel
But-
room.
Are we to believe that, or is it that this is getting more, like it really wants her now? And we find out in part 2 why it wants her.
I
But
still don't know why it wants
so
her.
would it not stop? Well, it didn't want her. It wants.
It wants the baby.
Yeah.
So why, when it gets sent to her, why does it need to possess her?
Why doesn't it just take the baby?
If I like,
It carries it out of the crib. Oh, we're back on part 2. God damn it.
yeah. Just wait.
And it's tough not to because it's a prequel. And here's my problem with that. When you have a prequel, that means you don't have any ideas going forward. So you've got the end of what happened in the first one. So you're just gonna give me what leads up to that. Get a fucking story and progress. You're going backwards.
I'm just waiting to see how angry you are when you get to 4 and you see what did happen after all this shit.
Oh my god.
So back to this movie. They do have a psychic coming over They want.
Meanwhile, Mika's just talking about how hot Katie is, and I kind of think
Take it,
Katie's
bro.
pretty good looking.
She's alright.
The amount of cleavage in this movie is nowhere near the amount of cleavage in part 2, though.
No.
Yeah, and which is really awkward because I didn't know if that girl was like 16 or if she was like 20.
I looked it up. She was overage when she was
Then
like
it's
20.
not as awkward.
She was like 25 there. or
What was she
something.
playing in the movie though?
She was probably
15,
playing like a
16.
15, 16.
I didn't know because she had her boyfriend over and.
I would
Yeah,
imagine
dude.
she's just a high school teenager.
Okay.
But
Night 1. The ghost drops some keys on the ground.
don't we
And
hear
that's
hear
it.
footsteps too?
Footsteps,
upstairs.
and then the keys drop.
There's a couple parts you get the classic, the camera's on,
Dun dun dun.
and then you hear Katie scream, and he grabs the camera and he runs, and it's like, oh, there's a
A
spider.
spider.
So those I'm not a
hate
you
that.
know, yeah.
But that is actually doing something. It's building character because it shows that Mika, his first and only goal is to catch stuff. He doesn't care if Katie lives or dies or
No,
anything.
Yeah,
he
you did
is
kind of get that.
one of the biggest douches we've ever covered. I feel on the
He's,
show.
on our show, yeah, he's up there, if not the worst.
I should have a say in it too.
No, you shouldn't.
No, it hasn't followed you. It's not haunting you. It's not touching
Everyone
you.
that has talked to you about this has told you this thing is fucking insane. It will kill you. And you just keep walking out in the hallway going, you want a piece of this? Come on, ghost!
Suck my dick, ghost. Hey, specifically,
If you couldn't
don't bring
teabag
a
the
Ouija
ghost.
board.
Yeah.
Specifically, don't bring a Ouija board in the house. What do I do? Well, I didn't buy it.
It isn't like he goes and gets like a regular Ouija board either. He goes and gets one out of like the Hell Kitchen or something.
What was this?
Holy fuck,
That's
that
a nice
thing.
looking Ouija board.
Holy shit.
That was handmade, I think.
Look crafted.
Had a deer skin.
Okay. So Mika makes a good point that I wanted to bring up. That he goes, oh, so a ghost rose from the grave to drop your keys. I'm like, yeah, what the fuck is that about?
Why would
Ghost?
you do that?
But like,
Is that because it
That's-
doesn't have enough power
maybe it's
without the Ouija? But
You know
then here's
what?
my question
You're
with
right.
that.
You nailed it. Okay, you answered my question.
But then here's my question with that. They used the Ouija board in part 2, which is a prequel, so that thing should already have as much power as it wants.
It's not
'Cause
power. It's trying to communicate with them, and it doesn't.
Well, I thought ghosts communicated, but demons didn't. They just wanted to
In
torture
part-
you. I think they mentioned that, actually.
But he also mentions this demon wants to talk. This demon doesn't want to talk to them, but if it can sense that they want to talk to him, it's easier for him to communicate and do what he wants with them.
Well, I
Because
didn't get that.
what's he do? He gets the camera out, and then he throws the keys on the ground, and then he starts moving doors, and slowly they start like calling him out.
You say he.
Which-
Are you sure it's a he?
No. Wait, yes, yes,
name's
I am.
Toby.
Toby.
You find out later.
Toby is the demon.
Toby, like from Office? The Office?
Every time I hear it, I think of my old fat dead cat, Toby. That's what I think of.
What?
I just am so baffled that this demon has a name and it's Toby. I can't wait
I
to
don't
get
know
to
if it's
I
that.
can't wait to get to that.
I don't know if
part.
that's the official name of it or what the little girl
Yeah,
calls
that's
it.
what I was gonna say. I don't know.
Yeah, I
if
don't know.
that's...
Anyway, this
Toby
movie,
with the Floby.
based on part 2, all these people do is swim.
Yeah.
All they do is swim. So now a psychic comes over, and I was like, with all this leopard print stuff,
The swimming-
maybe Katie really isn't as hot as I thought she is, because I really hate women who like
What are they
leopard
doing?
print.
What are they doing?
The swimming was just to get the girls in bikinis.
Guys
all the
swimming,
time.
doing douche things.
Yeah, doing middle finger tricks.
What are you, 10?
You act like it sometimes.
Oh my god, I'd never do that though.
Boobs!
What?
Boobs! Boobs!
Once again, I'm sorry you two are. I enjoy to see boobs on the top.
The psychic guy shows up, and what the other movies need is this guy. What they're lacking is this guy.
Who, the ghost hunter?
Yeah. They're lacking this guy.
This
Because
guy
this
was-
guy, I think he's important to this movie.
He lets them know that it's not a ghost.
He's playing dead serious, too.
Yeah, he is.
So,
But
you don't have that with anybody
'Cause
else.
Mika's trying to trip him up and, make fun, but this guy's not having any of it.
Katie tells the story of what we'll see in part 3 to the psychic. And,
what?
except for the fire, because
Are
Yeah.
you
there
ruining
is
part 3 for me?
no fucking fire. I already told you everything that's in
There's
all
no
of these
fire?
movies. There's
Yeah.
no fire. There's a fire in the commercial for part 3, the trailer.
There's a lot of stuff in the commercials and trailer for
Oh,
part 3
man,
that's
it's
not
not
in
in
the
there.
movie.
I'm just glad I didn't watch the trailers or commercials like you
Don't.
two.
Well, you should
remember
because
watching television and you'd see
after
it.
you see part 3, Cobra, go on YouTube and watch the trailer for it and be like, what the hell movie is that?
Yeah, it's totally different.
But yeah, there's no fire that they talk about throughout the series. Never.
Why is a Ouija board always the cause?
You just said it's classic demon trope.
It's a trope. It's just a demon trope.
When did that? I mean, did that start with The Exorcist or?
Oh yeah, it was in The Exorcist.
Was her a Ouija?
Yeah, Captain Howdy.
Talking to Captain
yeah,
Howdy,
yeah.
yeah.
But
My question is, why did Milton Bradley make a demon harnessing
yeah,
game?
when did the Ouija come out and when did it?
Milton
it
Bradley
known
was
to-
like an
That
asshole.
was like a 60s board game, right? Like, probably came out in the 60s.
Let's have a seance with your friends, hippies. Maybe.
They're walking around
What's
upstairs.
coin that? I'm sorry.
Uh,
That guy's where? Is that his?
As far as I can tell,
entrepreneurship?
Mika is walking around on the dark web. That's what I'm getting out of this.
You start seeing signs that they're not sleeping well. The psychic has told them that negativity will just
She says that
feed
there's
it.
banging and scratching and all kinds of shit that I would move out of that house immediately for. What the fuck is that white cat?
It's sleeping on your steps.
I heard
Outside.
that there were cats here.
Whose cat is that?
I don't know, it has a collar.
The neighbors have a black. The black one's. There's a black one. What the fuck is going on in my house?
Is there a cat orgy?
There's 2 cats sleeping on it.
The psychic takes into start. You can see in his face.
Oh,
he's taking
excuse
into-
me. Were we talking off topic?
That's fine. I don't care.
Do you see how he really cut in there
He did.
when we were having a
I
conversation?
thought we were back on topic.
Okay.
My fault.
Back on topic.
I can't recognize social cues. The fact that she's really nonchalant about banging and scratching and stuff has him really worried. Like he's like, oh, this happens all the time, huh? Well, you don't have a ghost then, because this thing must have been following you for a while.
Well, she references that it calls her name, and it called her name when she was little.
Yeah, and she says it like really like nothing. She's like, oh, sometimes it says my name, other times it
Is
says
that-
a language I can't understand.
Is her mind wiped by, we find out, witches? Has it been wiped and she's just getting pieces
I'm
of
nodding,
memory?
people at home.
Okay.
It has been.
What?
This is also where...
What?
Yeah.
Her mind gets erased from witches?
No, you don't see it. I'm just asking. Because she's
Yeah,
remembering
it
pieces.
does, and fucking bullshit.
Do we see it?
No, but I think it's alluded to or something.
Okay.
Which part is this? 3 or 4?
3, I think.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's
Also, they make a joke about Katie's mom coming over, which after part 3
Yeah,
makes me go, that's fucking weird.
Watching it this time, I've seen this a few other times, but watching it this time, I finally caught that. I think my wife was like, "Did you catch that? Like about her mom? Because
The mom shouldn't come
Yeah.
over anymore?
the mom shouldn't be there." to
No,
begin with.
really, the mom shouldn't come over anymore.
Is the mom dead?
Spoiler.
Don't know if she's dead.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mika records. He gets a voice. He's asking questions to the demon, and he gets a response, more of a grunt. But that leads him to get the Ouija board because he wants to talk to it.
Also, we learn the difference between ghosts and demons being that ghosts aren't persistent, demons are. So if this thing's been going on for a long time, it must be a demon. And they tell, the psychic tells Mika, absolutely no Ouija, you fucking moron. That's how he says it.
And just to heighten the doucheness of Mika, he randomly just plays a guitar throughout shots
Yeah.
of the fucking
Yeah.
movie. His doucheness is out of 10, I'm pretty sure.
And it's a he can't play it. He's just like, bring,
Yeah.
bring, bring.
Plucks a few strings.
Ugh. The guy seemed nice enough considering the fact that Mika was treating him like absolute garbage.
Yeah.
And he says, hey, call a demonologist because I can't do anything about this. He gives him the number of a demonologist and Katie's like, I'm going to call him. And Mika's immediately like,
Said no.
absolutely not.
Yeah, we just tried your way calling this guy, you're not doing it.
And now my way. Step 1, catch demon. Step 2, step 3, profit.
Wait. He was doing research from a picture book, so he must be very accurate and know what demons are doing.
He just wants to assert himself as, like, the guy, so he repeats everything.
That's actually a funny scene.
the
because,
psychic says.
Yeah, and she keeps
He's
saying,
like, it must be a demon, and she's like,
that's what Dr. So-and-so told
That's
us.
what he said. Well, it wants
Yeah.
something.
Yep, it's probably a demon.
That's what we know that.
That's kind of funny.
Ugh.
Well, I do have in here that they have your flat screen television, Boo, when you were younger.
I didn't have a flat screen.
Yeah, you did. That monstrosity that was at the bottom of your steps.
That wasn't a flat screen.
What was that?
That was a huge projection.
Yeah, it was
It was a Magnavox 55-inch TV projection I got in like 2001. It was like $1,200 for that thing.
And nowadays it's like $55.
Yeah. It was huge though. Playing video games on that thing.
It probably weighed about 1,500 pounds.
I hated the bigger the TVs were in the old days, like the heavier they.
Unfortunately, I got that for the SummerSlam, a WrestleMania, the one that Owen Hart, that one pay-per-view where Mankind fought The Undertaker. That's what I got it for. That pay-per-view.
I've never seen anything like that television before.
Owen Hart, he was the best.
Okay, so Mika's spending a lot of time trying to get laid, and finally they do have sex.
Does anybody...
He claims it's illegal in how many states?
He says that it's illegal in Kentucky, and I'm like, any sex act that's illegal would not be illegal in Kentucky.
No, you can have sex with a horse, I think, in Kentucky, and it's okay.
Yep. I believe in Pennsylvania there's a law that you can't have sex on top of a refrigerator.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still on the books. So if any of you have had sex on a refrigerator...
You have to get caught, though, with that. And then if someone's looking in my house...
I think in most states oral sex is illegal. But who the fuck's gonna bust you on that?
Some creepy perv.
Some cop watches it and he goes, aha!
There's blowjobs being doled out in this house.
Okay, so we're on to night 3. This is when the door and the light go on and off. What are you looking at?
If this movie doesn't make your skin crawl, it's on too tight.
That's great.
The Black Christmas slogan. I love it.
Love Black Christmas. I wasn't here for that.
That was episode 4. We've been at it alone. Up in my man room.
After the door moves a little bit, back and forth, and again I'm like, why is this ghost doing that? But it must be because he's trying to get them to call him out. He says something about the flowers. I'm like, the flowers are still standing. He again asks Katie, how do you get the ghost back? And that's when we get the fake spider scare. And by the way, Katie does not want the ghost back. She's like, we don't want it. And he's like, well, how do you get it back? I'm trying to get it. At that point, when he runs in with the camera for the spider, Katie's like, you brought the camera? Because he's running in and then he stops and turns back and she's like, where are you going? To get the camera.
There's a funny same scene in part 2, but a little twist on it that's kind of funny.
Oh, right. The turd in the toilet. Right.
In part 2.
I'm 12 now.
No, I get that.
This book, though...
No, it's alright.
This book does serve a purpose similar to the Blair Witch woman who talks about an old lady with hair that floats above the ground.
The fur.
The book gives you an idea in your imagination what the demon might look like. So
Is it the unicorn from VHS 2?
I think so.
Or 1? Which one was that in?
So he says, don't worry. It's 2. Yeah, it's 2. Yeah. He says, don't worry, I'm going to take care of it. And Katie's like, how?
You haven't done yet.
Is this night 5 yet, or we...
Now, these nights that we're talking about are the nights that we're witnessing. You're going to see night, 18.
Yeah, we skipped night 4.
They flash them up there for you.
Yeah, you're going to... But...
Nothing happened night 4?
I don't know. They're not going to match up when we say night 3.
So Mika's basically blaming her. This is when he starts blaming her.
Well,
you didn't tell me that this demon's been following you?
Right.
Well, got a point.
No, he doesn't.
He really doesn't.
Be a good boyfriend or fiance and stop being a douche. If your girlfriend doesn't want a Ouija board in the house, don't fucking bring one in the house.
She says, was I supposed to tell you on the first date that I have a ghost following me around? And he's like, no, but like the 50th
John, it's
or
a
60th,
demon, not a ghost.
Sorry. Well, either way.
No, either way.
If you said either
don't
or,
follow you. They just...
that would have been his reaction? Well, that's kind of crazy, because ghosts don't follow
He's like, I just read this picture book. And,
Okay, so night 5, she has a nightmare.
Yeah.
And, poor Katie. I feel so bad
There's
for her
noise
right now.
downstairs.
Yeah, there's some noises downstairs, and Katie plays scared
The
really
guy
well.
is calling the demon out again, I think.
And he starts, show yourself!
Does that ever work?
No.
No.
And okay. I just think that Mika's a child. He's just a kid. He's acting like a little kid throughout this whole movie.
We record with someone like that.
I think we discussed this already, didn't we? And then we got called in.
First of all, I don't play guitar.
You hate this movie because we told you, we kind of said it's not bad.
No. This movie is not good.
You just refuse to like anything.
No, I liked Hellgate. Got a 6 out of 10.
This movie is way better than Hellgate.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's-
way better.
But you like those slow, nothing happening until the very end of the movie.
In my opinion, stuff happens in this and it accelerates at a rapid pace. It just never stops. It does not
A door
stop.
creaks, then we see a shadow of the thing, then we see Katie standing there, and then she's...
That's not creepy.
And then she...
The time lapse of like she stood there for almost 2 hours.
I'm supposed to believe she's possessed by this thing.
You were the one raised Catholic here. You should be terrified of
And
demons.
I'm not, which makes this even less.
Yeah, Bible person. What are you doing? Alright, so early on in my life, I dated some girl.
Is this the vampire?
This is the vampire girl.
Oh,
dated a
okay?
vampire.
This girl was insane. She was absolutely insane. So, when it was happening, I thought it was the stupidest shit I'd ever seen, okay? But one night, I find her standing in my doorway. I don't know how long she's been standing there. And she just like monotonely goes, "There's something in my room. Can I sleep in here?" And I'm like, yeah, fine, whatever.
Wait,
Were you
were
dating?
dating this girl, but she had her own room?
We were at her dad's house.
Oh, okay.
So, we
That's
were
how
allowed to
old
sleep
were
in
you?
the same room. 19. He didn't let us stay in the same room because he had a problem with it.
Do you think maybe she, came to your room for a reason?
It wasn't that reason.
Oh, okay.
I was hoping it was. I remember being like, "All right," and she just fell asleep. Like, bam, hit the pillows and was
So
out.
something's in her room.
And she'd been standing in my doorway for who knows how long instead of just coming in. Then another night I wake up and she's sitting beside me, looking at me, not doing anything. And then she starts to laugh when I wake up, and I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck? You're so fucking weird." And I go back to sleep. And then one night I wake up and I go over to her room and she's not in there, and it's like 3:30 in the morning, and I'm like, "Where the fuck is she?" So I go wandering around looking through the house. She's nowhere in the house. I go outside, turn the corner, and she's sitting on a swing. Okay? And she's just staring at nothing. And I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing?" She's fucking freezing cold too. And I'm like, "You're stupid. What are you doing? Come on, come inside." She's like, "Not right now. I don't want to come in right
Oh my
now."
god.
I'm like, "Well, why?" And she's like, "Just leave me alone. I don't want to come in right now." I'm like, "Okay, crazy lady." After I left, on social media, whatever the hell it was going on at that time, if it was MySpace or whatever the fuck it was, she keeps posting shit about how she keeps being followed and she can't get away from whatever it is that's following her. And I'm like, this girl's fucking insane. I'm glad that I'm now broke up with her, right? Well, then I go see this movie.
Did you ever find out about this girl? Like,
Here's the thing. I talked to her a little bit after that until I got in trouble for talking to her when I was dating my wife. First started dating my wife. She's like, "You talked to another girl?" I'm like, "You know what? No, I don't." That was the end of that.
you know what? No, don't.
But I saw this movie in theaters, and up until this point, I'm like, it's not terrible, right? And then this happens, and I'm
you're
like,
fuck.
Where are
oh
we at?
my god.
Oh.
And when he gets up and he goes out and looks for her, I was like, maybe
She was
you should-
acting the exact
I was
same
like,
way.
maybe you should check outside. I bet she's like sitting down and she's probably catatonic. And sure enough, he goes outside, turns the corner, she's sitting there, freezing cold, catatonic. I'm like, fuck this movie, fuck this movie, fuck this movie. So, yeah, it kind of has a different feel to me than it probably does for most people, because I saw this shit happen. Was there a demon? No. This girl was insane. I didn't say it was scary. I said it affects me differently.
That means it's because you're a pussy.
You can enjoy something without it. Like, it doesn't have to be scary to enjoy
It's a
it.
horror movie. It's supposed to be scary or fun.
I can't
Scary
think of,
shots in
there
it.
are maybe 5 horror movies in the history of horror that
Yeah.
are scary.
Every
Just
horror
calling back
film
to
you watch,
that.
you intend on being scared while you watch it.
Or entertained.
This is entertaining.
This is
Not entertaining.
Yes,
It's
it
a
is.
bore fest.
No.
And the next one's even worse.
Well, it keeps progressing.
We're on night 13.
It's getting
It
more.
goes from night 5 to night 13.
That's why
so-
they said it.
So they probably
doesn't
went mini
matter.
golfing, went outside, got some air, did things that you said they should do. And then it gets to night 13, and you hear scratching, and then a roar,
I'll tell you
And
what I
then-
hear.
and
Door
a-
shuts
and
at
slamming
3:14.
and a crash.
Chandelier's moving also.
Something
That's spooky.
something just wrecked the shit out of their house.
Yep.
I don't know what, and I
That-
don't want to know.
At 3:25 they hear a noise.
Well, we get the next day. I think
More
it's
teeth brushing. She brushes her teeth an awful lot in this movie.
the next day.
There's a Monty Python reference coming up soon.
What's that?
He's on camera and he's like, "What is your quest?"
Oh, he doesn't. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
What is your favorite color? He actually does after that too.
Well,
What is the capital of Assyria?
after this crash, I'm out of this house. I don't care.
It's
that the guy-
Antioch,
Yeah.
by the way.
Okay.
That's how it ties in, because the holy hand grenade of Antioch.
Mhm.
Right.
See that?
After this
Monty
crash, I'll
Python
be gone.
is a better movie than this.
No one's denying that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
hope you
can't
wouldn't.
go against Monty Python.
Come on, get your head out of your ass.
Completely different genre, but all right.
Monty Python's more scarier than this,
All right.
because the Black Knight always triumphs.
Yeah.
Does he think he's gonna get famous filming this shit?
I don't know what he thinks.
What is he doing? He starts asking EDP questions, and I was like, "Where are you from originally?" Okay, the usual stuff isn't working. I just gotta quote Ghostbusters any chance I get.
What a great movie.
He should
do
just
love
come out and be like,
Ghostbusters.
"Get her!" Okay, how does an invisible grunt not scare him?
Yeah.
He goes, he mocks it. He's like, "Oh, is that one grunt for yes, two grunts for no?"
He picks it up on the EVP.
Yeah, he picks it up and it just goes. He's like, oh, scary.
He sounded like the main troll from Ernest Scared Stupid there.
Now we're on night 15.
Holy cow. No. Night 15 is where she's out on the swing, right?
Yeah,
Oh, we're not there yet.
no, we weren't.
Oh.
Because that's when I wrote down, you better tell that story now. And I wrote, this scene makes me a little sick. Anyway,
I have when Mika can't find her. It's like, she probably left you because you're a douche.
maybe that's what it is. She just looks at him, contemplates her life for a couple hours, and is like, I'm out of here. So after all this stuff happens, he comes back inside, and there's the TV comes on. Why does the ghost turn the TV on? Is he a techno ghost?
Turns it on in Poltergeist.
Yeah. And she's standing right behind him and goes right back to sleep. I feel so fucking bad for Katie in this movie. Like, in the morning, she wakes up, and he shows her the video, and she's like, I don't remember doing any of that. I just remember having nightmares all night long.
Yeah,
And he makes fun of her.
he does though.
He's like, you walking around like a weirdo. What a fucking douchebag. So at this point, I'm calling the demonologist, and if Mika says no, I'm punching him in the nuts and calling the demonologist. And so then he gets the Ouija board. And I don't know if he thinks it's some sort of weapon, because he's like, I got you now, you fucker. What are you going to do? You going to hit him with it?
Well, they go out on a date.
They don't go out on a date.
Yeah, they do.
They're getting ready to go on a date, and she...
Oh, he busts out the Ouija board and they
and
do
he
leave.
busts out the Ouija board, and she's like, that's it, and fucking storms out of the house.
But he goes
Yeah,
too.
they go on the date.
And when they come back, they're still arguing. So it must have been some date.
Well,
They
they
spent the
still
whole-
went out.
It sounds like a date with me and my wife on a
Here's
normal
my
day.
question. He didn't really even get a chance to talk to the Ouija, did he?
No.
No.
So how is just bringing the Ouija board in the house giving this thing extra power so
You're
it
giving
sets
it-
it on fire?
It's-
If you can set the Ouija board on fire, then set him on fire. Set her on fire. It's got some powers at this point.
It's starting to get powers.
You know what?
It can set the Ouija board on fire. It's got powers.
If Jason
We're not talking about Jason. I'm talking about Paranormal Activity.
You gonna listen to me? If Jason can walk and catch kids running, that means he can be anywhere at all times.
But he
Why
doesn't.
doesn't he just fucking kill them? Why
Why
does
doesn't
he play
he just
with
like
them?
zip from place to place?
Why
killing
does he
everyone
play
all the
with them?
time?
Because he doesn't.
Why does he play with them? Why does he just end?
Okay, then you want to know why he doesn't catch people on fire in this? Because
Yeah,
he doesn't.
but you know what? In Jason, I get to see people getting cut,
Oh,
stabbed,
God.
slashed. In this movie, I get to see Katie
Are you right now trying to tell
growling
the
at the
entire
camera?
people listening community of horror or watchers,
No.
people who watch horror, you're telling them, hey, there's nobody getting cut up in this movie. Am I right, everyone?
There's really...
People want different things in their horror. I
Yeah,
understand. what
I
you
know
want.
a lot of people like this series.
It's like people want different things in their porn.
I don't like this series. I do like this movie, though.
That's dirty. Why would you say porn?
Some people, what do they want? They want puke porn.
Some
Ew.
people,
Old Ben.
Asian. What? Old Ben wants puke porn?
Remember he talked about puke porn? He's like, this is getting weird, and he just left.
Was that for dead silence?
First he talked about putting things through a penis, and then he talked about puke porn, and then he was gone. You guys are like, I don't want to talk about puke porn.
I'm like- That's dirty.
It was. We were like, that's really dirty. He's like, oh, well, I gotta go.
That
There's a
got
cool
weird.
shot here where like the plants are moving from like unseen wind, and then the board catches on fire.
The board catching on fire, I didn't really like. Mika looks at the board when he gets back, and like all of a sudden he's like, "What is it trying to send a message to
And
me?"
he's
It's
like talking to
how,
Katie.
wait.
How did you
No.
Think it was just white dots on the board.
Look. This is what he did. And I'm going to tell you. I actually picked up on this. He went back and watched the video. Because the Ouija board was moving.
And he was writing down where he thought it was.
He had a mapped out chart of where he thought the letters could possibly be, where the white thing was. And that's what that... He had a graph, like, the first letter could be A, B, C, D. The next one, he had, like, circles everywhere for where it moved, but he couldn't exactly pinpoint the letter, but he had a...
So he made something up, which led to something else stupid.
Yeah, which is that. Yeah.
Yeah,
that
I mean
really
that would
pan
be
out.
way too hard to try to figure out what that thing said.
Yeah.
It said, "I want you, Katie, and your soul,
And your boobs.
and her boobs." But we don't
Okay,
get
like
that.
Blair Witch,
See?
I think looking through a lens lessens the
If
reality.
Katie was naked in this movie just once, wouldn't have added like a point.
I think that the whole series. Every time I see Katie, I'm like, God damn it, Katie, just get nude.
Just
You're
take the top
possessed.
off.
Just get nude.
Rip your shirt off.
I don't care.
That's what possessed people do. They should.
Well, like Blair Witch, looking through the lens lessens the reality to Mika, and I think that's why at some point he starts filming everything. Because actually, he probably is scared, but as long as he's looking through a lens, it's all fine.
And unlike Blair Witch, though, this is... the camera's not very shaky. Most of the time it's
On a
on a
tripod.
tripod in the bedroom, so it's...
Tripod in the bedroom.
What?
Now I'm being 12.
Huh?
Long dick. He whispered it. Long dick.
Tripod.
I got it now, but...
I still don't... I wouldn't have went that way. Who's 10 now, Ben?
That's what I said. I'm being 12. So
So after Mika has to say that he's going to follow the rules of Katie,
that was kind of stupid.
because Katie's pissed about everything that's been happening,
Is it stupid?
I don't think he should be allowed to have his
the
camera at all.
whole on the camera saying, I agree to follow the rules, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, he didn't even mean it.
Yeah, he was like, or
No, he
whatever.
didn't.
He says, or whatever. And then they decide to use powder. Well, he decides that they're going to use powder. She's like, what
Why?
the fuck
Yeah,
are
what are you
we
doing?
We know he's there. We literally know he's there. What more evidence do we need? And he's like, we need evidence so I can catch him and stop him. How? So immediately, they put the powder down, and like an hour later,
It's walking through
the
the powder.
demon's like literally like, oh, cool. Dum, 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 dum. He walks like right up to the side of the bed, and then he just like, I think he like shuts the door or does something. He makes some noise, and they hear him.
And then he runs out.
They wake up and they look, and there's giant fucking
footprints.
and they're not human.
And they don't walk out of the room. They only walk into
They walk
the room.
in, and they're like, and Mika's like, oh, cool.
Yeah, if that really happened, it's time to get the fuck out of the house. I know it's gonna follow you, but I feel like you're safer in the car. Does anyone else feel that way? Like if you slept out in your car, would it attack you? What would it do? Beep the steer or beep the horn?
Beep, beep, Mika. Mika, whatever.
Beat Mika.
So they follow the footprints back, and they find that, because he's like, I'm gonna get him. So he starts running back the hallway, and
He
they
does
find.
say, get him!
He does. He's like, I'm gonna get you. Come out. Come show yourself. And
No, man,
Katie
he goes the way of Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like Freddy Krueger. He's a dream demon. You can pull him out into
Or you can
reality.
just ignore him. Disappear. So they go into a closet, and there's like a panel.
That's I thought that was like the bathroom or something, but maybe it is a closet.
I think it's
It is a closet.
There's
There's a panel missing.
in the ceiling up to the crawl space.
And so he gets a ladder and goes up there like an idiot and finds a burned picture of Katie in the attic. Let's not talk about that right now. Okay?
I want to lose my mind now. But I'll wait.
Katie-
I'll wait till part
I
2
will lose my
to
mind
explode.
Katie claims that this picture was taken when she was young and it burned up in a fire. And
she was
how
eight.
did it
There
get?
was no fire.
How did it get into the crawl space?
It must be awful hot up there, Demon. With all that insulation. No wonder he's pissed off.
Probably itchy too.
No shit.
Insulation.
That's a good way to get mesothelioma, isn't
And
it?
I
so
think it is.
And so once they find that picture, it was above the bed. Terrifying.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
It was above the bed?
And she's
What?
she's
When?
like,
She says,
where was
was
the picture?
it?
And he
he
goes
said
above our
it's
bed.
above the bed. Like where he found the photo. If you go straight up from the
Ah.
bed, that's where he found it.
That's
Yeah.
not true.
It probably isn't true, because if I remember it was that way.
It went
And
down the
I
hallway.
thought
It
so.
went. It literally was down the hallway
Is
to
Mika
the
just
right
trying
in a
to
closet.
He's trying to scare her.
Well, the picture was further back in, but I thought it was further away from the bedroom.
Maybe I was just looking at it
But they
wrong.
walked out into the hallway that would never be anywhere near the bedroom.
Yeah, but
The roof goes the whole way from one end of the
Yeah.
house to the other. But
But the way they walk, I don't think it's physically possible for that
okay, let
picture
me
to
explain
go
it.
there.
The closet is on the right, going back the hallway away from the bedroom.
yeah.
When they go up into the crawl space, the picture is on the left. The
It's
bedroom
way
is on the
left.
right.
That's what
Yeah.
I thought.
It's
So it's not above
it.
her bed.
It is not above
Maybe
her bed.
Mika's just like, because he's filming her, he's just trying to make her freak out more. He's like, above our bed, and then he zooms in on her.
Was that just?
Is her
I mean,
lip trembling?
that's obviously a continuity mistake that
Yeah.
they didn't shift the camera right when he got up there.
And
or
who cares
something.
if it's above their bed anyways?
That means it's jerking off above them.
There could be semen slowly dripping down on their bed.
Demon semen.
No, that's
Nice.
a good rhyme.
Yeah.
Well, Amityville, the walls bleed.
So they're
This
downstairs
movie,
and she's like,
semen comes out of the walls.
they're downstairs and she's like, I'm gonna call this demonologist, and he's like, well, no, I'm gonna take care of it. And she's like, oh yeah, what are you gonna do? Oh, nothing. That's right, I'm calling the fucking demonologist.
Finally.
And he's out of town. Of
Because they
course.
waited for fucking ever to call
This
him.
is true. This is true.
That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
it's
Step one, call the demonologist.
immediately.
What do you call a priest?
You need-
If lights are turning on and off, no.
I'm pretty sure you need an old priest and a young priest, and that might cost a little
And
bit.
this is movie
And
world,
one of those
so
priests is gonna get tossed
this
down
is
a set of
movie world,
steps
so
at the
every
end.
church will do an exorcism, even though in real life it's almost impossible to get
Yeah.
an exorcism. So
There's a lot of sheets
night,
moving. huh?
night whatever. I didn't even write it down. this
17
time.
was powdered steps.
What night is the next one?
18,
Is this
the
when
lights
come
turn on in the hallway and the door slams.
Yep. Also, more demon tripe. A lot of times when it turns the lights on, it knocks 3 times on the walls.
Mika's face also breaks in a picture on the wall.
That's the next day.
That's later.
No, that's still
Mika
day 18.
decides he's gonna fight it, and this is when he says, "Show yourself again." He's like, he
Yes.
goes back and he's like, "Come on, you want a piece? Let's
Did
go
that-
right now.
and
I'm
that-
taking my shirt off. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?"
The picture that the demon smashes and scratches, I guess, was that them? Those are two different people.
Like it, yeah.
Those are totally two different people.
The other door slams when they're out in the hallway, which means it's in the bedroom.
Yes.
This is where I have go out into public.
Yeah. She
Go,
wants to. She's
go
like,
somewhere.
she's like, Mika, let's get out of here. And he's like, oh no, I'm gonna get him.
Yeah, he does stick around a lot.
Yeah. She's like, let's go now. And he's like, nope. And then it starts knocking on the door. And they're downstairs. And at this point, they haven't slept in forever.
Yeah, it's been.
And you just hear
Weeks.
creaks. Just creaks everywhere. It's, at this point, man, it's gotta suck. It's just gotta suck for them so bad. That's why I think this writing is good, because they're like, okay, at this point, everything's gotta bother them. We can make the smallest creak, and they're gonna be like,
And they're getting on each other's nerves more and more because they're not
He
sleeping.
won't leave her alone.
He is King Douche.
Yeah,
And if
for sure.
anybody has ever had sleep deprivation,
Okay, and they're downstairs eating, and that's when the picture gets punched. So they go upstairs, and we see a picture of someone.
I don't think
who
it's
the fuck is in the picture.
doesn't look like.
But
them.
he's like, oh, it scratched my face. No, it scratched some dude's face. I don't know. But she's standing there, and this is so fucking creepy when she's standing there and she's like, I don't know, I think it's here. I can feel it breathing.
and you see her
and her
hair.
hair moves, and she just takes
You
off
hear it.
running.
Yeah, you hear
And he's
something
still
breathing.
like, well, he must be right there then. Come on, you want to fight? Let's go.
Uppercut.
And she goes downstairs and
Didn't she call the ghost guy back?
calls the ghost guy. The ghost guy shows up, walks in,
Immediately
and goes,
leaves.
I am getting the fuck out of here. Goodbye. Because it says I'm going to help you, but I have
How
to
is
go.
he so good at demonology too?
No, he's not. That's why he told them to call the demonologist.
Yeah.
The demonologist is out of town, so they call somebody. They have to call him.
And they're like, let's just go. And he's like, he literally just real fast goes, well, that's not going to do a goddamn thing. That's not going to help.
They should have just said, "Hey, my douche boyfriend brought a Ouija board.
Can
to
we
his house. Are we fucked?"
You know what? We used a Ouija board. Can we sacrifice Mika to the demon? Night 19.
At 1:33.
Yep. The
Well, this
blanket
is where
moves.
it jumps in bed with him. I was like, is this a threesome?
This is where the shadow's on the door too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's Nosferatu shadow.
But it jumps in bed with them.
Well, she can hear it breathing and
But I was like, is it
growling.
trying to have a threesome?
No, I think it's just trying to get close
You
to
think
her.
so?
And it's breathing and growling. Well,
gonna
Cobra, I
cross
like
swords.
you, paranormal entity. That ghost is trying to get laid.
I've never seen Paranormal Entity.
I didn't get to watch it yet.
It's stealing a lot of stuff from these two movies, this one and the next one. But they actually go to a hotel room in that movie and get attacked in the hotel room. So they
that would be
leave.
kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay, so she's scared because it starts making her cry and shit. I mean, that feels just awful because she's all alone. She has Mika, but what the fuck does that mean?
Nothing.
She plays.
What's he gonna do? Break a guitar over its head like he's who's that guy? The Honky Tonk Man from WWE.
No, she plays vulnerable really well. You can kind of just
Yeah, so
feel her
they start
fear.
fighting the next day, and he's like, I got some ideas. And she's like, fuck you! Goes up to her room, and he's like, well, it's your fault it's here, asshole! Good move, Mika.
tells her to go hang out with her friend.
Yeah, go hang out with your friend. And she just bawls, and she's just done. She's done. And so night 20 comes, and for some reason they go to bed. By this point, I'm like, quit going to bed. Just quit it.
Just stay up.
So the demon's like, alright, now I can actually do something. And he grabs her and drags her down the hallway and slams the door and bites her. Fuck.
What?
Yeah, bites her on the leg.
Is this a vampire or a possum?
Well, I don't know, but that bite looked fucking horrible.
Demons can
Yes.
bite you?
Well, if they can grab you, they can bite you. They can do anything to you. I don't know. They can do anything. It's a demon. I don't know.
Why don't you
what
look
they
up
can do.
demon trope?
I don't want to look at demon trope.
I've never seen it bite somebody in any other of these.
Oh
before,
wait,
though.
her sister in the next one gets bit in the leg. She was bit on the back, Katie,
Yeah.
I think.
Yep. So I'm like, just go outside and leave. Just
Well-
leave. And they want to leave.
Yeah, the next day.
Is that how it gets possessed? By biting them? Because
I don't know.
they only become
Yeah, I think
possessed
so.
after the bite mark
Yeah, I think so.
appears.
It must
Because
be.
the next day, they have had enough of this.
And they're
Mika's
gonna leave.
packed and wants
Yeah.
to leave, and
Katie is holding a cross so hard it's
She's
making her
bleeding.
hand bleed.
Wouldn't if she refuses to go,
Grab her and take her out anyways.
or would you just?
This is when
say-
acting gets bad. The acting gets really
Just
bad.
leave her?
Yes,
Mika
You're a
does some
dick.
really terrible, terrible acting.
I hope your wife listens to this.
she does.
I would though. I would leave if she was like, "Let's
There.
I would. I'd be like,
But you'd grab her. You
No.
wouldn't take her with you. You
I
wouldn't
would
leave her there by
try.
herself.
she's acting like a child.
I would try.
Leaving. I'm leaving. I'm coming back.
It's your fiancé.
What do you think? You
Oh,
know,
no, they're not engaged.
You know there's a demon. You know it wants
No, they
Kate.
make a joke about
You know
that.
there's a demon. You know it wants your girlfriend. Now your girlfriend, after being dragged down the hall and bitten, goes, I think it's gonna be okay.
Get the fuck out.
I'm leaving.
I take her with me,
That's
though.
not my girlfriend anymore.
But it could be again, as we find out in part 2, that nothing happens after you place the curse on somebody else.
Yeah.
Or should I say, the prequel.
Okay. So yeah. So they
Part 2, the prequel is what it should be called.
he does a real boneheaded move and burns the cross. He's like, I'm putting it under the shit. And he burns the cross, and then he zooms in. He's like, look, I'm burning it, see? What are you doing? So he goes up to get her to go, and she's like, I like it here. I want to stay. Let's stay. It'll be fun. You can tell she's fucked.
Yeah.
And then he says something like, I don't even know what's going on here. And I'm like, oh, you're a terrible actor. He just wanders off. But then she talks in two different voices at the same time and goes, I think everything's going to be okay, and looks at the camera. I'm like, yeah.
And then you said it best earlier. For some reason, they go back to sleep again.
Yeah, he gets back in bed with her.
Why would you?
She's been laying there all day saying 5-word phrases, and you're going to get back in bed with her?
She's like, if you sleep here, I'll slit your throat. And he's like, well, whatever, you know.
Shut up.
Tomorrow we'll leave. Let me play my guitar.
Okay, so he goes to sleep, and we get another thing where she pops out of bed with her horse legs, because she's now possessed, and she stands for another 2 hours, I think it is.
And then
Before
just walks downstairs.
She stumbles downstairs and screams, and then you have to wait for 4 movies to see what happens here.
Should have taken an extra 4 seconds to get out of bed. He
Here's a
immediately is out of bed.
Why did he stop and grab the camera this time?
Oh.
Oh,
Did she sound more desperate this time, maybe?
She just goes, Mega! And I'd be like, fucking shut up! No, I'm sleeping!
He immediately is out of bed.
He
I don't know
bolts out,
anybody that can get out of
Runs
bed that
downstairs,
quick. Unless
and
your dog's puking in the middle of the night. Then you can shoot out of it quickly.
gets stabbed. I don't even know if he was sleeping,
Never had
that's the
that happen.
thing.
What's that?
You don't know your dog. Never mind.
I don't know if he was sleeping. He might have just been half sleeping at this point, where any noise is enough to wake him up. Like he's on high alert.
Might go.
So he runs down and gets stabbed, and then you hear steps coming up the steps, and his body flies into the camera, and you see Katie acting all fucking weird.
She sniffs
crawling
him.
around, sniffing.
She crawls over the camera and gives like a...
Looks at the camera and goes, CGI! Blah!
Yeah. Most of this wasn't.
Do you know what sucks about this movie? Then don't answer, Cobra, okay? 'Cause
I've got a laundry list
But what
of
sucks
items.
about this movie is there's 3 endings, and not one of them was really good. There's one where she cuts her throat.
Yeah, there's one where the cops shoot her down.
Yeah, and then there's this one, and none of them are any good. Now, in order to make the series continue, you have to have this one.
Because we have to have a prequel leading up to this, which is stupid.
I don't know why they couldn't have just been like, well, what's Katie up to next?
Yeah.
Which is what I thought they were going to do after this came out.
It's because if you immediately go to a prequel, you can just, then you know that your third one's, well, you would think, going to be after the first one.
Why don't we just go back to the 1800s
It's
Paranormal
money.
Activity?
I mean, it's, well, they did.
Yeah, but clearly they didn't have an idea to go forward, so they're like, we cashed in on the first one, let's get the second one. We don't have an ending, let's use the first ending and just put a prequel together.
If you're making these things for, now the second one had a much bigger budget, but if you're making these things for like peanuts and you're
This thing was
200
a
million
giant success.
If you're getting 200 million
unbelievable
back
success.
for 15,000,
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. But have an idea to go forward, not backwards, is where we're going.
I don't think they were trying to... Well, you're saying the next writer.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get
For
to that in a
2.
minute. Let's work on this one first, though. We'll start with the negative review, Cobra. What do you give this one?
I gave this one a 4. It wasn't shot bad for a handycam movie because most of the time it was stationary. The boyfriend was just such a tool bag throughout the movie. Katie was alright. It's slow. It's boring to me because nothing really happens except doors creaking, noises on the wall. And an hour and 15 minutes in, we finally get to see the demon shadow, the demon hooven footprints. We get a burnt picture of Katie when she was younger, which means nothing to me, except there was a house fire when her and her sister were younger. That we'll later find out to be...
bullshit.
Ugh.
possibly bullshit.
But yeah, for me, this is not very good. There's not a lot happening. It's slow. It's boring. And the second one's even worse. That's why I gave this one a 4. It was going to get a 3 originally, but I bumped it up for that.
Jesus.
4.
All right, Ben.
I'd give this one a 7 out of 10.
Bullshit!
Did I comment on it?
You know me. I'm 10 years old. I'll comment on anything.
I wanted to say something about why there's no boobs, but I'll wait.
Okay.
So it's a logical reason as to why there's no boobs.
There doesn't need to be?
No, because it's police footage being lent out. They wouldn't let you just
okay.
throw nudity to hurt the people who are dead.
That makes sense. I hardly ever go to the theater anymore, especially to see modern horror films. The trailer on TV hooked me with this. This was brilliant with the they don't show you the movie, they show you night vision audience and the reactions, and I thought I gotta go see this, and it was a great theater experience, so that might be why I'm a little biased. I do like because I usually don't like found footage horror, but I did like I liked how they make the story to where there's a reason that the camera's stabilized and it's not, you don't get seasick or. But it's also I love one location horror, and it all takes place in this house. We don't leave it. But unlike Cobra, I do like less is more. I don't need to see something. I like noises are creepy enough.
Which is weird because Friday the 13th supposedly is your favorite series, which I'm going to start calling bullshit on that. You don't like anything else that has ties to that.
I'm gonna defend you right here. Friday the 13th is a lot of fun.
It's fun.
It's so much fun. It's not because it's scary. You
no,
wanna be
but if
scared.
that's your favorite series, you would think you would like other movies similar to that, not
scary to me
slow,
is
boring.
What's coming around the corner? What's inside there? What is going on? What is gonna happen?
That's because you're a pussy.
What's gonna? Okay, what scares you?
Nothing, because I saw The Exorcist at
Except
why do you
snakes.
watch-
The
why
Tourette's
do you
guy.
watch-
Except snakes.
Why do you watch horror films then?
To be entertained.
Nothing scares you about horror films.
Not really.
Nothing makes you jump. Nothing makes you.
I don't like jumping.
I don't like cheap jump scares. I think these work.
I like entertaining. I like slashing for the most part, but I like good makeup, good special effects, things like that.
I can appreciate
This
that.
is like
Yeah.
I'm not huge on the story. It doesn't have to be a great story for me. The ones
Okay.
that are, like The Shining, Psycho, these are slow movies that have really good stories and good actors to make that really good.
I'm not comparing this to
No,
The
but that's what I'm
Shining.
saying. This movie to me it's low budget. Let's make money on a handycam movie like Blair Witch, only inside a house. That's what it is to me, and it's slow and boring.
To me, this is still entertaining. I mean, I know you guys were pretty hard on the actor, the guy playing Mika, but I didn't think the actors, like, nobody was annoying to me, like, that turned me off from this. And I did like that. I mean, I think most of these shots they weren't CGI'd, like special effects.
Not to the very, very end.
Yeah, the very end. But I do like that too. That
Mhm.
now as the series goes on, you're going to see much more CGI, which.
And you're also going to see some effects that they didn't do a good job covering in the
Yeah.
next one.
But so that's why. What did I say? 7 out of 10.
Okay, this was on my top 10 list, so I'm going to give it a pretty high rating still. 8. I'm going to give it an 8. I loved it when it was in theaters. It was one of the funnest experiences I've ever had. People were just
Yeah.
berserko there. It was so crazy. I was up in the balcony, so I was looking down at these people who were just losing it. I think Mika is the equivalent of when you're watching something on TV that's a shitty show, but you watch it because you like to yell and go,
Yeah.
"What the fuck is your problem?"
Ancient
That's
Aliens.
Mika. Yeah. Like, Mika does a good job of pissing you off.
Yeah.
And because of that, you feel worse for Katie because you're like, man, this girl is in the shittiest situation.
Not only
and
she
now
has to
this
deal
guy,
with the demon, she has to deal
Yeah,
with.
it's like dealing with 2 fucking demons. It's horrible for her. And the writing is very, very good because the progression from simple things like keys dropping to getting dragged out of the bed happens rapidly. And it's all because the camera came in. And they keep saying, don't antagonize it or it's going to get worse. And they antagonize it and it gets worse. The reasons that I don't like the movie don't come into play until the series goes on. As an individual standalone movie, it's really well done. Once they start trying to plug in gaps, things go haywire and it starts to suck. But if you can avoid that and watch it on its own, it's very, very good.
I can compare it. This is comparable, and I'm not saying that part 1 is comparable to the first Halloween, but as standalone films.
Right.
And then they start trying to plug these gaps later in the series, and it just derails.
Halloween on its own,
Great.
great movie.
Halloween 2 is good too.
Yeah, and Halloween
but
2 is a
I didn't think
logical
Paranormal Part 2 was terrible. It wasn't as good as the first one, just like Halloween 2 is not as good as the first one.
Paranormal 2 is kind of
It's bad.
slow and boring, but it's not the depths that we're going to reach.
Yeah.
And my problem with this is I know that there's things going to be happening in the movie when I'm watching the camera, but I've never seen them before. So I don't know where to focus my eyes. Should I be looking at Katie and Mika in the bed? Should I be looking down the hallway?
Can't you say that about every horror film?
But
though?
they didn't. I know what you're saying.
But
They
I
didn't-
know things are going to happen.
Yeah.
they didn't
So I
take
don't know where to
advantage of
focus
that.
my eyes.
They didn't take
Anywhere.
advantage of that. What they should have done is had something happen in the same place a couple times,
Yeah.
so that then
And you
you're
can't
like,
say that about any movie
so then you're
because
like
not
focused
every
on
If
movie.
it's
that,
there, then it
and then
happens
boom,
somewhere
over
else.
here.
I
And,
gotcha.
and you can't say that about every movie because not every movie is a handy cam movie where
No.
we're set up here and we're staring
This
at one
movie,
individual room with time elapsing.
Unfortunately, started an insane craze of handheld movies
It did.
that were awful.
It brought it back.
Holy shit, there's
This-
some bad ones.
Was this the obviously it was the first successful hand cam movie since Blair Witch, but
Right.
was this what started it all again?
I think so.
And now if you go
there
to
wasn't
Netflix,
anything between Blair Witch and now you go on Netflix and you go to the
it-
horror
it-
section and
it-
it's
half of it
all
is
handy cam.
half it hand cam.
I was excited to see The House at October built because I read good reviews on it. I turn it on,
It's
they're
me.
immediately filming with their handy cam. I just can't get into that shit.
No.
Grave Encounters, same thing. They have a good premise, but it's handy cam. They come up with these good
That's
plots,
on
but they're like,
Netflix, isn't it? Or one of them is.
it was, yeah. They come up with these great premises and these great stories, and they have to film it on a handy cam because they want you to think it's real. Nobody thinks it's real.
Well, but you can say that this obviously was a good movie if it started something.
Yeah. I mean, it got the ball rolling, But the difference between this and the ones that came after it is that the story was pretty well done. The characters were well developed. Maybe, okay. Then we need to get it out of the freezer.
No, it's fine. I like it.
I'll take that one. Is there only one left?
There's 2 left.
Oh.
No, there's 4 left. There's 4.
Oh, there's
No, they're fine. I love ice chunks in my beer. That wasn't a
I'm trying to
gripe.
figure out if that's sarcastic.
No. I like ice chunks in my beer. It means it's really cold.
Well, there's one sitting right there. Whenever you.
I can't
don't like
read.
it.
I can't read you right
No,
now.
I'm serious. I do. I like ice chunks in my beer because you know how cold
Even
it
though
is.
he's saying he's serious, I
still
can't read it.
Tried to read the kid my whole life. and Can't.
Okay, that's gonna do it for Paranormal Activity.
Wait. At the very end, we get some scrolling or some subtext that says
Katie's whereabouts are unknown. to this day.
Mika's body was found by the police, and
The
Katie
po-po.
is...
I'm gonna tell you right now, we're 6 movies in to this series, and I still don't know where Katie's fucking body went.
I know where she
I don't
goes.
know. I know where she goes after this, but then fucking I don't know.
When she snaps dude's neck, it's just one of the most comical things. It's just like...
By the way, I'm in the credits.
Oh, we
because
did see that. You should put that on Facebook
I
too.
will.
I wouldn't
will.
put that anywhere. I think I commented on it this
When
morning.
this came out, they were doing a thing to bring it to your town. They were doing it that way. That you had to like... Because they didn't think it was going to be widely released, so they were like, if we get enough demand, that's where we'll send it to. And so I signed up for that.
Marketing was brilliant with this movie.
It was really, really well done.
Did you have to pay anything to get your name in the
No.
credit?
Just
Oh, that's
gotta-
really you?
Yeah.
I thought it was just somebody you saw your
No,
name.
there's like 10,000 names. They flash them really fast, but anybody who signed up to bring it to their town got their name in the credits.
Nice.
So my name's in the credits.
That's kind of cool.
I hold you responsible for this terrible movie then. Aw, what did my
People-
daughter do?
People write in. Tell
My
us
daughter
your
was
thoughts.
so mad, she scribbled out my notes for part 2.
He's trying to talk over me, so...
I think somewhere down the line, people are going to look back at this and still think it's very, very well done. This might hold up. I don't think anything else in this series will. So.
Write in, let us know what you think of Blair Witch.
Yeah, Blair Witch, fine. Go ahead and write us in.
Paranormal Activity.
Write in horrorcastings@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/horrorcasting. Follow us on Twitter @horrorcasting. Rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. We need those 5-star ratings. Or
Oh, Cobra, he's wrong.
yeah, you can any means necessary. You can tell Cobra he's wrong, and
Please.
we'll send you a nasty message back.
Maybe some people like slashers like I do, don't like boring movies like Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, if you like slashers and don't like boring movies.
Oh, there's so much suspense and thrills going on in this movie. No, there's really not.
Suspense.
I'm watching a camera, a door slam, a sheet coming off somebody. Oh, she finally got drug out of bed an hour 20 minutes in, and the only horror part of the movie, her attacking Mika and giving some demon CGI face
When you
to the
say
camera.
horror part, this always drives me nuts when I have to edit these movies. When you say horror part, you always mention someone bleeding or getting decapitated.
That is
or...
what horror is.
That's what I always wanted you to say.
What do
Now
you
that you've
mean?
said it, I'm satisfied. You literally just said
You like
horror
blood.
is blood.
Horror is something. When you're talking about what's going on, someone pulls a sheet off you. There's nothing horrific about that. It may be a
has to
little
be
creepy.
horrific.
It may be creepy.
You gotta get like a paper cut when it's coming off you.
Exactly. Show me a little blood, a little gore.
So, nothing makes you unsettled. That's not good enough.
No, unsettling is
Okay.
not. I can get
Unsettled is better than...
Things happen to
Yeah.
me in my life that are always unsettling, but
I like
like that
the
thing
idea
that,
of-
like last night when the thing came open with the DVDs after I watched Paranormal Activity 2. I wasn't freaked out. I wasn't like,
Your heart didn't jump.
not really. I was like, oh, that was kind of weird because I just watched that, but I wasn't
like
thinking
the
like,
feeling
oh,
of-
maybe tonight the sheet's gonna be ripped off my body and I see a shadow of a demon on the wall.
I like the feeling of seeing a movie and afterwards feeling really uncomfortable
Yeah.
more than I'm like.
I like seeing a movie and thinking about it for a day
Yeah,
or
you
two.
really think
like,
about it, and it makes you
about
want to
how
see it
bad
again.
it
You know,
is.
you're like, I want to go back and see that again. Whereas, like, I enjoy being entertained by Friday the 13th, but it's not like I sit there and dwell on it for like a
Do
day.
You don't have to.
Do you think this is rewatchable even though it's a one-time watch? I mean, you know.
Yeah, because even though you know the things are coming, it's still kind of startling
Yeah.
when the shit happens, and it just the dread in this movie is really overpowering.
I will not watch this movie ever again.
Was I asking you?
No, but I put my 2 cents. Am I on the show? Am I on
We
the talk?
know your opinion.
Okay.
I'm trying to sell you, because you're not going to sell me.
You don't need to sell me to
You
this
can't
movie.
sell
It's
him this
not
movie.
good.
You going in.
It's Blair Witch in a
I knew.
house. And
I
the fact
knew.
that you like it
I
makes
knew.
me unsettled that you don't know what the fuck you
Remember that, everybody. When shit starts going wrong,
Follow
the creek.
it out.
follow the
Follow the creek.
goddamn creek.
All right, we'll be back next week with Paranormal Activity 2, or
And we find out all you
Or
need is a
the
Mexican
prequel.
nanny to get rid of
for
everything
Christ's
you need.
sakes.
I
Yeah.
do have.
Yeah, I got some issues. See you
You're
next
not
week.
the only ones.